Ever wondered what made the Agincourt archers the stuff of legends in medieval warfare? How did a band of skilled marksmen wielding longbows influence the future of the battlefield? I'll be uncovering the secrets behind this celebrated English victory and the tactics that were used to outsmart the French. So join me as I dive into the heart of one of the most iconic battles of the 100 Years' War. The Battle of Agincourt, fought on October the 25th, 1415, stands as one of the pivotal moments in medieval warfare. This clash between the English and French forces in northern France saw the English emerge victorious, thanks largely to their skilled longbow archers. These archers, renowned for their precision, power and strategic deployment, proved to be a game-changer in the face of overwhelming odds. And it was on a muddy field in northern France, amidst the chilling winds, that two mighty forces would face off against each other. The English, led by the young and determined King Henry V, stood firm, their ranks bristling with the lethal longbows of their archers. Across from them, the French, boasting a vast army of armoured knights and seasoned soldiers, were preparing to charge. The ground, churned into a quagmire by relentless rain, would become a treacherous battleground for both sides. As the tension mounted and the banners fluttered in the wind, little did they know that this clash would forever redefine the art of warfare. The longbow archers were mainly English, originating from different areas of England, such as Kent and Sussex. A small contingent of Welsh archers, comprising only about 6% of the total number of longbowmen, also joined their ranks. These skilled archers were a vital component of King Henry V's army, totaling around 6,000 to 7,000 and accounting for nearly 80% of the entire English forces. But what made the longbow such a deadly weapon in the medieval world? Well, this weapon was not merely a tool, but a symbol of power and precision. Crafted from yew wood and measuring around 6 inches or nearly 2 meters, the longbow possessed incredible strength, capable of launching arrows with astonishing force and accuracy over great distances. Arrows shot from these bows could pierce even the strongest armor of the time, rendering knights vulnerable in the face of a skilled longbowman. The reputation of these archers in the English army preceded them across Europe. They were not only renowned for their skill with the longbow, but also for their versatility on the battlefield. Whether raining down arrows on advancing cavalry or engaging in skirmishes at close range, these archers were a force to be reckoned with. Their ability to swiftly shift from long-range attacks to close combat made them formidable and adaptable. At the heart of the English longbowmen's skill was their dedication to training. Unlike many other troops of the time, these archers were not hastily assembled for battle, but were the product of a rigorous and lifelong training regime. As young as 7 years old, they would begin their apprenticeship, learning the basics of archery under the watchful eyes of seasoned archers. With each passing year, their training intensified. They would practice for hours on end, day after day, drawing their bows until their muscles ached and their fingers became calloused. Gradually, the draw weight of their bows would increase, challenging them to develop the strength and technique necessary to wield these powerful weapons effectively. The training did not end with physical conditioning. These archers were also taught the art of aiming with precision. They learned to judge distances, adjust for wind and terrain, and select the right arrow for the job. Their instructors passed down generations of knowledge, ensuring that each archer understood not just how to shoot, but when and where to shoot for maximum impact. This tireless dedication to honing their skills created a breed of archers whose prowess was unmatched on the battlefield. When the moment came to face the French at Agincourt, these men were ready. The battlefield of Agincourt was not a typical open field, but rather a landscape that heavily favoured the English, who, under Henry V, chose their ground carefully. The terrain was a mixture of open fields and thick, muddy terrain with dense woods on either side. One of the most critical factors was a narrow, muddy strip of land that ran between the woods. This strip was wide enough for foot soldiers to move through, but it was difficult for cavalry, particularly the heavily armoured French knights and their war horses. The recent rain had turned this strip into a quagmire, making it even more treacherous. King Henry V deployed his longbowmen skillfully. He placed them on either side of the narrow strip of land, maximising their effectiveness. This positioning of the archers had a very specific purpose. It restricted the French cavalry's ability to maneuver. The heavy mud made it nearly impossible for the French knights to charge at full speed, and the dense woods on either side prevented them from flanking the English positions. This forced the French into a confined space where they were not only slowed down but also vulnerable to the relentless shower of arrows from the English longbowmen. This meant that the French cavalry found itself at a severe disadvantage. Instead of their usual charges, they were forced to advance slowly through the mud, making easy targets for the English archers. As they struggled to move forward, many knights and horses were struck down by the hail of arrows. This defensive strategy by the English turned the muddy field into a killing ground. The French, unable to effectively deploy their cavalry and unable to retreat due to the terrain, were essentially trapped. The English archers continued to rain down arrows on the tightly packed French formations, causing chaos and casualties. After years of training, the strength of these archers was immense, and combined with the power of the longbow itself, its impact on the battlefield cannot be overstated. As the French cavalry, clad in heavy armor, thundered across the sodden battlefield towards the English lines, they were met with a rain of deadly arrows. These arrows, tipped with bodkin points designed to pierce armor, found their marks with chilling precision. The French knights, their vision obscured by visors and their movements hindered by the weight of their armor, were at a severe disadvantage. The longbowmen, strategically positioned on the flanks of the English formation, had a clear line of sight of the advancing French. With each draw of their longbows, they unleashed a volley of arrows that soared through the air and rained down on the French. The sky darkened with shafts as the arrows descended upon the French cavalry, finding gaps in their armor and penetrating even the thickest plates. The chaos that ensued was profound. Horses screamed and knights fell. Many French knights, bogged down in the thick mud, struggled to maneuver their horses, further exposing themselves to the unrelenting rain of arrows. The English longbowmen continued their assault with relentless precision. The once imposing French cavalry, now in disarray, dismounted, becoming easy targets as the English infantry closed in for the kill. In this way, the longbow archers at the Battle of Agincourt demonstrated the sheer power and effectiveness of their weapons. Against heavily armored opponents, they turned the tide of battle in their favor with their deadly accuracy and strategic positioning. Despite facing overwhelming numbers, estimates suggest the English were outnumbered at least 3-1. The longbowmen displayed remarkable determination and resilience. They continued to fire volley after volley, their discipline and training holding firm, even as the French forces closed in. This unwavering resolve was crucial in turning the tide of battle in favor of the English. The Battle of Agincourt resulted in a resounding victory for the English forces under King Henry V. The French losses were devastating, despite vastly outnumbering the English. Estimates vary, but it is believed around 6,000 French soldiers, including many nobles and knights, were killed or captured during the battle. In contrast, English casualties were relatively low, about 400 in total. And while exact numbers are debated, it is clear that the English paid a much smaller price for their victory. This was a testament to the effectiveness of their tactics, the skill of their archers, and their ability to exploit the conditions of the battlefield. The English victory boosted the morale of the nation and solidified King Henry V's reputation as a skilled military leader. It also had a significant impact on the course of the 100 Years' War, weakening the French position and leading to further English successes in the conflict, such as the Treaty of Troyes in 1420, which recognized Henry V as the regent and heir to the French throne, essentially putting him in control of much of northern France. For the French, the defeat at Agincourt was a bitter blow. It highlighted weaknesses in their military strategies and exposed the vulnerability of their heavily armored cavalry in certain conditions. The loss of so many nobles and knights was a significant setback for the French aristocracy. In the aftermath of the Battle of Agincourt, the longbow's reputation as a devastating weapon was firmly established. This legendary clash showcased not only the power of the longbow, but also the skill, training, and tactical prowess of the English archers. Their triumph against overwhelming odds serves as a testament to the impact of innovation and strategy in medieval warfare, forever cementing the Battle of Agincourt as a pivotal moment in history. If you enjoyed this video, then give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell to be notified of our next video. We will be making a video that explains the events of the actual battle soon, so stay tuned for that and join us next time, where we'll be diving into more fascinating events from history.